Yo, yo. CR, back in the business, watching a little film, checking out this new Griselda movie on Prime. Uh, but you know, want to make a short video. Somber news. We lost hip hop legend DMX. Passed away about a day or so ago. Complications from a heart attack he suffered from supposedly drug use. So it's just a rough one to take. But he didn't want him to go out like that, even though you know he had the issue. So it's tough one to take, tough one to hear. If you don't know who DMX was a rapper out of Yonkers, New York. He was on the Rough Riders record label in the '90s and 2000s. Debut album, His Dark and Hell is Hot, came out in '98. That same year, he dropped another one, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. I think total he dropped about 6 or 7 albums. I'm not really sure. He struggled with drug addiction. From the time he was, I think, 14, he was accidentally given, not accidentally, he said intentionally, he was given by an older guy a blunt that was laced with crack. Down here in Florida, we call that bunk. I think up north they call it a wool or something like that. I heard Wu-Tang used to smoke them shits. He used to call it headbanger boogie, shit like that. Um, Apparently he suffered from that for years. I don't know if you can tell by his behavior. It was erratic, always mood swings. He'd be aggressive sometimes in interviews and be calm. And that was he's something he suffered with throughout his whole career. He tried to get some treatment, I think. He fell out a few years back. Just recently on the episode of Drink Champs, just a fucking month ago, man. He looked like he was healthy again. Um, but apparently this last time they say they slipped him some fentanyl. Which you know is that new opiate coming out of Asia. That's super strong. You can't even smell that shit. And I think it triggered him having a heart attack. And he went to a coma. And lost brain activity. And you know, once you lose brain activity, you're pretty much dead. You know. And so he was on a ventilator for the last week, but it was imminent, at that point, having seen family members on not breathing on their own and in coma type states. Um, it's no joke, man. To sum up his career, It's Dark and Hell is Hot was an instant classic back in '98. I think I was in going into ending my 10th grade year, going into 11th. It dropped, yeah. Simultaneously, they dropped. He was in the movie Belly, which is also a hood classic. Him and Nas. He played Tommy Buns in the movie. directed by Hype Williams. Um, a lot of the movie Buffy buffs types don't really like it, but the hood classic, hood love it, so I love it. Um, After that, he did Romeo Must Die with Aaliyah. You know, passed soon after that also, so that was another tragedy. He did the song with her, and also going back, he did Flesh of My Flesh. Um, I believe he did two multi-platinum albums in the same year. Uh, so he had a great work ethic. They could get him focused, and I think after that it was in there. Then there was X. Dropped it with Cisco. Had the What These Bitches Want. You know that song. And after that, I think it was the Great Depression. But throughout his music, there's always a theme of struggling with the light and the darkness. Coming from a dark place, you know. They recently had the Rough Riders documentary, and they talked about him and the constant struggles he had with drugs and going to prison and street shit. And basically, it was a constant issue trying to keep him on point. He had his jaw broken, wired shut at one point, and so it was a constant struggle with him. Keep him focusing on point, and so he really didn't get on to about 27, 28, I think. I think he was 27, 28. Yeah, on It's Dark and Hell is Hot. So similar to Jay-Z in a sense. Took him a long time to get an actual deal because he got passed over. And it wasn't his time, you know. Of course, prior to that, it was Biggie, Tupac. Um, then before that, you had the whole Native Tongue era and Death Row era. So he was doing it probably since '88, I think '88, '89. So it took him about 10 years to get on, really get his album out. So again, another story of just never give up, keep going, whatever your dream is. But he eventually got on with the Dean Watt from Rough Riders, and eventually put out a debut classic, and then followed up with a classic, two classics in a row, really. Um, and then they had the successful Survivor the Illest tour with Jay Z, which he headlined with Jay Z, and then they did the Rough Rider Cash Money tour, which I couldn't go to because it got shut down before it got down here. But overall, he did a string of movies: Exit Wounds, one I watched today, which is creepily, eerily mirrors his life a lot, called Never Die Alone. With I can't call the guy's name right now. I know it's got Reagan Gomez Preston in it, but it's creepy because he's in the movie. He's dealing with he's a drug dealer dealing with drugs and family issues. And in the movie, he's in a coffin, which is wildly creepy. Similar to Tupac. How Tupac in a lot of his movies, he dies and kind of mirrored his life a lot of times. But yeah, DMX was a part of the that post Death Row. Well, not post. His Bad Boy was still there, but Death Row started to fall once Tupac died. But he was part of that post Biggie Tupac reign. Him, Jay Z, Noriega, the Master P's, No Limit, Cash Monies, all those that came up after that East Coast West Coast shit kind of died. So he was part of that keeping the hip hop alive because people didn't know what was gonna happen after Biggie passed. We kept it alive, and yeah, dude will be missed. Definitely a good rapper. Um, definitely will be definitely reach legend status, almost instant legend status. Something you don't see today. Uh, as usual, very few people have classic debuts. Uh, so you know, 2020s has been rough, and it's gonna continue to be rough. So lost another brother, and it hurts. He still had a lot of good potential left. He just couldn't get off the narcotic. But so he will be missed, and definitely made timeless music, so it's gonna live on long after he's gone. And of course, you got the stupid feminists out here trying to cancel him or whatever about music he made back in the '90s, but they didn't understand the music then was different. It's not like it is now, and '90s hip hop is more, you say things as crazy as possible to get that shock value and get that, what I'm trying to say, notoriety or whatever. So you get known for being a barbarian. But yeah, he's definitely gonna be remembered in the annals of hip hop history as one of the greats. Just sad. I actually liked his movies a lot more than even more than the music, to be honest. Um, and but the issue has got to be talked about drug addiction in the community. Because something that people don't want to face. I think that's a lot more important than doing transgender stuff, shit like that. But definitely health and wellness. It's a struggle. I go through with health every day, and a lot of people and addiction, whether it's street drugs or pharmaceuticals, uh, definitely brings out more of a more important topic to talk about. But overall, RIP to DMX. The cigar today was the age limited rare. I reviewed this last year. Darky Patel. Just something to smoke after a nice meal, nothing big, and just have a little drink, a little regular on a palmy. But other than that, that's it. RIP to DMX, and trying to give you another review this week. Got some new smokes. Definitely got something I want to try. And also happy Ramadan to the Muslims out there. With that said, signing out. Peace. And DMX live on. Church.